Normally I could talk for about 20 hours rather than 20 seconds per slide, but I'd like to introduce Dolly, Varden, a historic mining camp, and it's silver. It's the Golden Triangle of British Columbia, which you've heard of, so we're often referred to as the silver lining of the Golden Triangle. And what you see here, I'll be making some forward-looking statements. The forward-looking statements, you don't have to read all that information there, but the main one is, I believe that we can triple the resources at Dolly Varden with a relatively short drilling program that is targeted for resource expansion. And I'm the Vice President Exploration, Ben Whiting, and so I'm putting my name out there saying that this is what our objective is to do. Dolly Varden was the richest silver mine in the British Empire and vied with silver properties that were in Peru and Mexico in its historic days. This is nearly 100 years ago. 100 years after the mine was opened, what I'd like to see is us move into a resource that's 100 million ounces. Also, high-grade Torbrit mine is on the property. You'll see here, it was a 500 gram per ton operation that operated for 10 years. Torbrit is a specific style of mineralization, and you'll get a sense when I show you some of the rocks of it. But it was an operating mine in this camp, and the camp is being reevaluated. The overview, I should say that the key is we are right in the northwestern part of British Columbia, a big land package. We have an indicated of about 32 million ounces of silver right now as the indicated resource, and a inferred resource of 10 million ounces. So about 42 million ounces, I think we can triple that. The location, perfect up in that area. We're close to tidewater. We've got access from a public access road for about 25 kilometers to the north. We have hydro projects nearby. We have contracts with the Nisga'a First Nation in the area. And there are 4 known deposits with a history of 20 million ounces of production already. What did we do in 2017? We went in there with an active drill program. We drilled 15,000 plus meters of drilling in 45 holes. In that process, we made 4 new discoveries. 3 of them I'll highlight in this presentation. The 4th is beginner's luck, and it was found by the youngest geologists in our team, so it's great to have them. These red circles you see here, we won't go into the details, but the red circles are about the size of football fields. They're 100 meters long, and the southern red circle at Torbrit Mine, it produced 18 million ounces of high-grade silver from that location. The colored area around it is an existing resource. The other 3 circles that we just passed are 3 new discoveries. Torbrit North is 200 meters north and 220 meters deeper than Torbrit. But you can see the grades are high grade and good thickness, and it's a very continuous mineralized horizon through there of the Torbrit style of mineralization. It is beautiful rock. Torbrit East is a fault block that is to the eastern side of Torbrit, and it's in 2 horizons. One is a high-grade silver. You can see there it's 497 grams silver equivalent, with mostly in silver, but there's also a lower base metals unit that was lead and zinc with silver credits as well. So it's a continuation of that. Moose Lamb is more like the original Dolly Varden, that first slide that we showed. And you can see here that it's a little thinner than the other ones, but it's kilogram materials. So if grade is king, Dolly Varden property is the queen. This is a beautiful, beautiful core to be drilling through for the style of it. This is what it looks like in the drill core. It's easy to spot once you're in that horizon. And when we develop these fault blocks, we figure out what the directions are on the motions of the faults, and we identify the horizon, and we're into it. Beautiful, beautiful rock. To say that it's the same as Torbrit is not just a simple expression. It is the same because on this illustration, the top one comes from the Torbrit deposit. The bottom half of that is from the Torbrit North, 220 meters deeper and continuing along this flat horizon. That's the same rock type. That's the same horizon. So you get a sense for what it is we're working on in these exhalative horizons for high-grade silver. What are we going to do next? The proposal and the technical committee will be meeting very shortly. We'll be discussing the drilling programs, and it'll be between a $6 and $10 million program for this year. between 15 and 25,000 meters of drilling, and there'll be some metallurgical testing as well, but that's the objective. Here's an image of the geology office and the core logging to give you a sense for where we are and that we are ready, and this is really the kind of project that we're running. The project here, when you get out to the actual showings are further to the north, and those showings have access. You have some underground workings for 7 kilometers worth of underground workings that can be accessed primarily in the Torbrit area. And the Dolly Varden's glory hole is where a collapsed pillar fell into some old workings. So we can examine right from there what Dolly Varden looked like 100 years ago. And so what we're doing is following up where those prospectors were 100 years ago. You can see here that the ownership is primarily on the institutional side, and I thank Frank and his team. U.S. global investors have been a key investor group in Dolly Varden Silver Corp. And we have other investors. We also give hats off to Hecla Mining. They're a major silver mining company that think highly of this project as well to invest. I love working with a team of guys that we've done it before. We're the same team that made the La Preciosa discovery in Mexico. We also found Baleares in Mexico. La Preciosa we sold to Coeur Mining. And most of the shareholders, it was a 10-banger. It was 1,000% increase in their share price for the average shareholder. So in conclusion, the stock, I think, is highly undervalued based on what I'm seeing in the ground. High-grade silver, location in a favorable jurisdiction with good infrastructure, target potential, experienced management team. We are ready at Dolly Varden to go the next step and move it up into that 100 million ounce plus level. And I thank you very much. On time?